falling in love and actually going for it and being in love, what does that actually do to you? It makes you vulnerable.
And being vulnerable means that you're probably going to get hurt. But sometimes, a lot of the times, that hurt is resolved and it's well worth the effort of allowing yourself
To have that open heart and allowing love to enter
into your life, because love is like that.
Love
It
is
hurts.
like that. It can hurt. Yeah, it can make you feel vulnerable. It can open you up to so many new feelings. And, just that feeling of just being exposed, as if that person literally has your heart in their hands. And that can be scary. And that's what we're going to be talking about
in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English Sisters.
Thank you so much, as always, for listening and commenting, and come and see us on Instagram. And we're also in the Women in Podcasting Awards. So please vote for us from the 1st of August.
Thank you so much. Right, yes, is love worth it? That's ultimately the question, Is being in love worth it? Is having a partner worth it?
I know so many people decide that it's better to be alone, don't they? Because they've been hurt maybe once. They've been hurt, so they say, I'd rather just be alone. I've heard that so many times. A lot of our clients say that to us as well, don't they?
Never
Especially
again.
after divorce.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Once you've had your, the expression, you've had your heart ripped out, and that is beyond repair. I will not go through that again. Or, I'm just perfectly fine on my own. And maybe you are perfectly fine on your own. However,
humans need to thrive, need to be in communities.
You get that sense of connection when you do allow love to enter, whether it's through friends, through relationships,
through pets.
Pets as well. Do you remember when we didn't want to have a dog?
Well, I never wanted to have a dog also, because I never wanted that dog to die.
The fear. You lived.
I mean, Ricky Gervais says that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does actually. Yeah, he commented on it once. Yeah, and he actually said, "I don't want to actually get a dog. First of all, because I travel a lot, and also because I fear that one day, obviously, the dog will die, and it would be this unbearable pain."
I know. It's a massive pain.
It's a massive pain,
but
yes.
it's so worth it. I mean, I've lived through that, and you have
as
well.
Both our first dog pets have died, and it was devastating. But just to have lived with them, it was so precious.
So precious. And all that love they gave us, unconditional.
Unconditional love, yes. And we're not, comparing partners to pets, but
they are on the same level.
Once you love, you love. It is
not. It's not. I mean, people call their pets sons and daughters, don't they?
Sometimes they do. Yes, they do. They feel as if they're part of the family.
Our pets are part of the family.
Yeah. So definitely. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that, and you're still opening up your heart. So I would say, if you are someone that may be having difficulty and you're really scared of being so vulnerable, you could start with a pet.
Yeah.
If it's possible for you to have one, obviously, if you work and, you manage to you think you could have a pet and have that pet live a decent life, a good life.
Yeah, adopt a pet.
You could try and adopt a pet and see how you feel.
Because a pet does open up your heart.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like the first, it starts opening it up.
Yeah.
You're looking after someone else, the pet. Yeah, you're looking after it and caring for it, and it'll get into your heart. I mean, the little 2 rescue cats that have arrived in my garden, they arrived like 3 years ago, I think now. Yeah, the first one, she arrived and we just thought, oh, you scraggly, scrawny little cat, so skinny because she was starving. We started feeding her. I mean, and now she's just like an endless pot of love. She just wants to be petted. She's the sweetest little thing in the world. Another one arrived like a year ago.
That's so sweet.
She's got a different personality. She's very sweet, but she's still... I think she suffered, something. she has had a different
trauma.
with humans probably. Somebody's probably hit her or something. Poor little cat. She's adorable, little black and white thing. And she is a little bit more timid and, frightened, but she certainly gives you love when she's ready for it. So, you have to open up your heart to them.
I think the thing is that what happens is if you feel that you can't open up your heart because you can't be vulnerable because you don't want to get hurt, it's like a double-edged sword, because yes, okay, in a certain way you will be able to just carry on with your daily habits and have your own routine and just be on your own, and you won't have to have little squabbles with anyone or open up to anyone
or share your space a lot of the time. Sharing your space,
you have to make so many concessions and be
compromises,
so flexible and compromise so much when you let love into your life.
Yes, you do.
But on the other hand, it's just so amazing and rewarding when you do. And I think as humans, we are meant to do that. We're meant to connect. We're meant to love. We're meant to be happy with other people, with other humans and other animals.
And it can be scary too.
It's scary
because when you love deep, and you think, gosh,
And you might be just starting a relationship.
Dying,
You might be just starting a relationship, and you might be thinking, maybe I just keep a part of it, this to myself, and I won't open up, and I won't share my vulnerabilities. But that's what actually stops a relationship from growing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. You have to eventually, when you do open up your heart, then normally you're the other person or open up their hearts, and that's when you get the real. It's this beautiful bond that you can think. I mean, I remember at the beginning of my relationship with my husband, I used to think, gosh, this is too good. Maybe something might happen now, or this is just. And then when I had my first son, after we spent ages trying to have him, just to have a baby, it took like 7 years in the end, with infertility problems, IVF for miscarriages and everything. When I finally got the beautiful little boy, I remember thinking, gosh, my heart is just so vulnerable now. This baby, if anything happens to this baby. And I used to think this is like a scene from a painting. I remember once I saw him in the garden on the grass playing with his little blonde curls, and I thought, this doesn't even seem real. Is this real? I could have my heart broken now, from the love I feel and the love for him and for my husband. And I, those feelings are like, it makes you vulnerable. There's nothing.
No, yes.
You're completely open and vulnerable, but boy, is it worth it. Is it worth it? Because that's what hearts are meant for. They're meant to expand. They're meant to love. And you really won't believe it until you live it, because at the end of your life, what's a life worth living if you think, yes, I was safe all my life. Yes, I lived a good, safe life. I had basically everything I wanted. I didn't have
all my needs met.
All my needs met. Yes, I traveled and I enjoyed good food and that, all of it. But in the end, your heart is not completely open, and until you share experiences, I think.
Yeah. This is reminding me of something I read on Reddit about this lady that was saying that her fiancé proposed,
right,
and he proposed with a ring that she doesn't like, and she doesn't want to offend him, because she said obviously he proposed and he went and he got the ring and everything,
but
she doesn't like it, and she says, I have to wear this for the rest of my life. But what do I do? Do I broach the subject? And then she was saying, but I've tried to broach the subject, and he gets very edgy about it and gets like really offended. And I've just tried to say delicately, maybe can we change? Is there a larger setting? Maybe we can change the style.
And he didn't want to hear about it.
He didn't want to hear about it.
I think in that particular case, maybe what was going on is that he was feeling that vulnerable, probably thinking, hey, you know, I've taken this massive first step and I've actually proposed. And if, you know, she is not willing to accept this gift, maybe he feels like it was a failure on his part or something. But then again, it's a bit, I think if your partner isn't actually willing to, you know, if you can't be open and just say, oh my gosh, I love the fact that you got me a ring and it's amazing. I love you. I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to be engaged. But, oh, I'm not sure I'm mad about the style of this particular ring.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I mean, I'm just so happy that you got it for me, you know, and just love him to bits, but just say that, you know, if
change it.
Well, yeah, I would say I mean, after all, you are probably going to wear that for a really long time.
Well, hopefully for the rest of your life.
Hopefully, yes, for the rest of your life, exactly. So, I wouldn't want to wear something I don't like.
But do you think that love is also that? It's also opening up to your partner and being open with them and communicating instead of just keeping things within you.
Yes, absolutely.
Or on the other hand, just thinking, because a lot of the comments were just saying you should just leave him then. He's, you know, it goes to very extreme, very radical. If you can't talk to your... You can
actually get quite a broad idea of what's going on in human connection on that, you know, threads like this. Yes. You can see, yes.
And you can... So what do you do? Do you just leave someone without talking about it properly? Surely it's worth open dialogue and open communication.
Well, yes, that's essential. That's a given, you know. That's
you can get to know someone more like that, can't you? Yeah, but it's common sense for you, but not for everyone else.
No, yes, yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well, we know how common sense is not so common.
No, you're right. Yes, and perhaps it's a fear. Maybe this lady was frightened of hurting his feelings.
She was really frightened.
Oh well.
She said, "I don't want to hurt his feelings because I know he went out and he got me the ring and everything, and I don't want to try and get a more expensive ring or anything. It's not about the price. It's just about the style. This doesn't even actually look like an engagement ring, and I want to be engaged. I want other people to say, hey, you're engaged, kind of thing. It'll just look like a normal ring."
Well, yeah, I mean, in that case, I would just really just say, you know, I love the fact that you got me the ring and it's not quite my style. Maybe we could just pop in again and have a look and maybe choose another one together, something that we both enjoy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If he's going to be very upset about it, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Don't say you don't know.
I mean,
you're a therapist.
No, I'm a therapist. That's what I mean. I don't really. I don't know if I would, you know, really appreciate being with someone like that as well. You know, if it's going to be such an important thing.
What do you mean?
If he won't accept the fact that it's not my style, then I'm a bit fearful.
That's offensive as well, isn't it? Because you can't just impose.
Well, the truth is, we don't know enough about this story because obviously.
But pretend that we do know enough about it, just for the sake of arguing it.
Okay, for the sake of arguing, what are all the facts?
Because I'm sure a lot of our listeners are in this situation where they have a question they want to, or something they want to talk about with their partner. And their partner shuts it down, because they just get offended so quickly. The partner will just get offended. So, I mean, it's a very common thing, I think, in relationships. So I think it's so important to be able to communicate and talk about your fears, or what your likes, your dislikes, you know, how you want to be and grow in that relationship.
Yes.
And if you can't, it's a problem. If the person's going to get offended, it's a problem.
It could be a red flag. Yes, it could be a problem. I would definitely talk it right, you know, all the way through. Being the way I am, I wouldn't be able to wear something I don't like. But the fact that he gave it to me and I love him would be of great significance. So I might even, you know, like it. Do you know what I mean?
Think you would.
Probably not. If it was something that to my eye was horrendous and really not pleasant, then I would have to. No, I wouldn't like it because I have changed jewelry in the past.
Exactly.
Luckily, my husband is always saying, "Oh, if you don't like it, let's swap it
I
as
think
change
I
it.
think that's the key thing. I think in a relationship you have to be willing to accept that your partner has their own tastes and their own likes and dislikes, and be respectful of that.
Yes,
So if you
yes.
do give a gift, or if you want to go somewhere and your partner really doesn't want to do that or doesn't like it, I think you have to be really understanding, and don't just immediately think that it's like a rejection for you. It's like
Yes,
they're
that's
rejecting you.
I would imagine the boyfriend in this case might be feeling rejected because she's like, or she thinks he's feeling rejected
No,
because
he is feeling.
he's
not.
being
She
upset.
says he gets upset, and every time she tries to broach the subject very delicately, he gets very upset about it.
Oh dear,
And
I didn't
offended.
understand that. Oh, I didn't get that first part that he actually got really upset.
Well, he gets offended and upset. He gets a bit shirty, as they say in England.
Okay, so he gets defensive.
Defensive.
He creates a barrier, a wall.
He doesn't kind of want to talk about it, and then goes away.
Because
So
he
she
feels
finds
hurt
it really
and vulnerable,
she finds it really hard.
What's your advice?
Well, my advice would be
should she do then?
She should talk to him about it and say, look, it's if we're going.
But she can't if he goes away. You say every time he just goes away.
Make sure he can't go away. Go to a coffee shop or something where you
Right.
can't just walk out. It would
Okay.
be really obvious if he walked out there.
And then that's a big red flag.
that's
I
a
think.
red flag. If you can't even have a communication, a conversation about something, then it's a massive red flag.
He's obviously so insecure about
Yes.
himself that it could be.
I think he
like
said
he could probably need therapy.
I think I remember now. He said, if you don't like it, just go and get one yourself.
Go and change it.
Just go and change it and choose one yourself.
Well, that's okay. But he was offended.
Let's go and get one together. Let's go and change it.
That would be
together.
nice, but yeah. Yeah, I don't.
The reason why I'm thinking,
I don't know why you're pointing me.
The reason why I'm making such a big deal about this is because I think it reflects a lot of the things that we have in relationships, a lot of miscommunication and misunderstandings that people have with each other, and the kind of thing that couples come to us for couple therapy about, that they're just silly little things in the end. They're not relevant. She loves him. Apparently he loves her.
That's what I want to know. Oh, if it was a proper therapy station, I would be discovering.
They love each other.
Is this real love?
But this is just like a thing that's
offense
separating
that has
them.
been taken. Yes, but could it
could be like the first fight you have with your
Could it be
partner.
like sabotage though towards a marriage? I think he might be feeling that she is like sabotaging.
If she wasn't 100% sure about getting married, isn't that something that you should talk about in great detail?
Well, I wouldn't just go off and say, if you don't like it, if he's feeling that there is some underlying issue there, the reason why she's rejected the ring, why she doesn't like the ring, and all of these other things, perhaps she's...
But I think if you just don't like something...
Yeah, you could just not like it. It's just not my colour. It's just not like... If somebody gave me an emerald ring or something with the green, I might think, not green or blue or red or something. She may just want classical.
Yeah, she wanted
a transparent.
If anything, it showed that she loved him even more, because she wanted a ring that looked like an engagement ring, so that people would say, "Oh, you're engaged, are you?"
Yeah, and
you're
classical,
engaged to be married.
In the Western culture, it's a classical, isn't it? Transparent stone, yes.
Diamond.
The diamond, that's what she wanted, something like that. Well, anyway, I don't know, but yes, I
think love opens you up to all these kind of vulnerabilities, and if you're not accepting to be able to talk about it with your partner, that's a red flag in itself.
And if you see that red flag,
you have to be delicate, though, don't
you? Do, that is what I mean. I don't want to be really radical here and just say, it's a red flag. I mean, we don't actually know enough about it, because like what you said, it's a Reddit thread and something you read. But I know what you mean, the importance of these symbolic pieces in our relationships, that they are of importance and they're not to be... just dismissed. It is an important traditional stepping stone, isn't it, in the Western culture? The buying of the ring, the giving the ring, the fiancé is supposed to be happy with the ring.
Yes.
And it's a whole ritual that has a symbolic and psychological depth to it. So
I also think that if she isn't happy with the ring and she does get married, and every time she looks at the ring she's not happy with it, what does that
the
say
symbolic
about,
nature?
It kind of transfers onto their marriage, doesn't it? And she kind of won't be happy with the marriage either.
Well, because of the symbolic nature of this particular object, yes, it is an important. It's not just a vase that's in your living
house
room.
You can hide behind some books or something.
It's something that you choose to wear, so it becomes part of your body language, part of what you say to the world. So yes, I can see the symbolic depth in the wearing of a ring and the importance of it. Yes. It's something that is a delicate subject for both, but the best advice is if you decide to go and get a ring, go together. Let's just go. I went together and I chose my ring and it was all very happy. It was a happy moment for me. It was a symbolic moment, a happy moment. Even though here in Italy, he didn't even really understand all this engagement. No, they place.
I think they
it's
do
more
understand
American
because all our friends at the time had engagement rings.
Not really, though. It's
I
not that
remember
symbolic.
Seeing them all have the same ones that we got in the end. We all got the same kind of ring.
Probably we passed it on because I remember saying,
they got
this.
Married first, didn't they?
Well, the first person that got married that I knew, she did not have an engagement ring.
Didn't she?
No. She got the wedding band, that's for sure, but not the classical engagement ring. Then I said, oh, no, in England, we have this thing called... Oh, okay, then.
I remember our other friend had one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she did, yeah. Well, maybe that's because it depends where you're from.
Maybe
from Rome it wasn't so popular at the time. I think now it's becoming more and more, traditional, getting more of these habits coming over, but it wasn't at...
The point of this podcast episode is
that
love opens you up to vulnerabilities, even silly little things
and big things.
And big things that you would think aren't that important because you don't wear the ring if you don't like it, just put it away and don't wear it.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as that. But no, if you want to have something that, is reminding you of your fiancé every day.
And of your love, yes.
And of your love, it's going to be, like what you say, a symbolic thing.
It is a symbolic thing, and it does carry an importance and a depth that is... I don't know why I'm laughing.
Knowledge.
Well, it is. It's it's very, very,
it can seem really fickle, though.
Yes, that's why I'm laughing. Yes,
it can seem stupid. It's just a ring.
It's just a ring, yes. But we all know that the importance of that ring and why it's important and why I think it's important for the person to be giving you that ring to be fully open to the fact that, it is a symbolic and really important thing. And I guess he was probably thinking the same thing.
Exactly. So two minds that are thinking the same thing, but when you're thinking the same thing in different ways, the important thing is to communicate with each other that you're thinking the same thing.
Yes, in the end, it's
the same thing.
He's thinking it's really important
and she's thinking it's symbolic and important. Therefore, I have to be able to like it.
Well, it's the same thing like when the ring comes from the family heirloom. And so it's an important ring. And so then what do you do as well? You think this belonged to my great-grandmother and now I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you don't like
the
style.
I think if you don't like it, no, you just keep it and then get another one. I think that would be the third best thing. And then you wear it when you go to the family. That would be my solution.
Yes.
To keep things just calm.
Just calm, yeah. Just
and when you go to these big family Christmases
and you wear it. Yes, exactly.
And the other times you get your partner.
You get something
that you both like. I think the the crux of the conversation is that be flexible.
Yes.
Be loving to each other and be
Elastic,
accepting
yes.
of each other's needs and desires and wants.
Yes.
And maybe, ask, do you like this? Do you want this? She actually said she kind of tried to show him a few things, but sometimes people
Maybe
just don't get.
Yeah.
She was maybe too vague. Sometimes people don't get the hint. Be a bit more maybe direct with your partner and say, no, I'd rather, if we are going to get married, have that conversation. Are we going to get married?
Our partners cannot read our minds.
They can't read our minds. So let's choose something together. Obviously it has to be within your budget. I understand. We can get it together, whatever. You don't always have to be so traditional either. You can get the ring together or get it with a joint. It doesn't have to be. But get a smaller ring, but something that you like.
It's just the symbol of it, isn't it? Yeah.
But make sure you're both happy with it, because that's what it's like in everyday life as well. Make sure you're both happy with each decision that you make.
Exactly. Yes, it's a circle, isn't it? The ring is a circle, and the circle is a complete union. It symbolizes like the two of you together and you form this perfect circle. So whether the circle, is
and in love, there's the perfect circle, and it's full of imperfections.
Inside that circle, there is so much that goes on.
So accept the imperfections as well, and just be happy together. And open your heart. We do
open up your heart.
Open up your heart, because it's well worth it.
Definitely.
Obviously, with precautions. Don't just throw it away.
No, you said open up your heart when you see that
that it's worth it.
This podcast, honestly, is going on and on. But yes, obviously,
it's about 40 degrees in here, so we may be getting a bit delirious. It's the Italian summer.
It's the Italian summer, and it's very hot. Yeah, so I think I'm actually finding it a bit hard to concentrate. So yes, that's why we.
So we're going to say
odd.
goodbye, but open up your hearts. It's worth it. Let us know if you have any love stories, or if you've had similar stories like this.
Yes, let us know.
And write it in the comments on Spotify. You can actually leave a comment on our Instagram at Get Real with the English Sisters. You can leave a comment. Vote for us from the 1st of August, and everyone have a lovely, happy summer.
Have a lovely summer.
See you next
you.
week.
Bye-bye.
Love and smiles from the English Sisters. Bye.